Welcome back. Happy Friday. How are you doing today? I hope that you're doing amazing. Today, I want to share with you something that I wasn't quite ready to share last week when everyone was talking about the New Year resolutions and goal setting and manifesting your dream life. And sometimes, I know for some people, it can get very overwhelming and it feels like too much. And I always start the year with that full energy and motivation of, yeah, this is the new year, let's start fresh. And then you have all those complex processes to manifest your dream, but they are hard to keep. They're not really sustainable, or they make you feel wrong. In this episode today, I want to share with you a 5 steps process that will help you to make your dreams come true, to bring to life all of your desires and everything you wish for yourself this year in an easy, simple, and pleasurable way. Those steps are really easy to understand, and they're the steps that a lot of people are sharing as well. The twist here is one, intuition. I don't want you to listen to me, honestly. Okay, listen to this podcast, and I feel like I have a lot of keys and a lot of things and tools that can help you. And I truly, profoundly believe in this process because it worked for me, whether it was manifesting traveling, living in a tropical environment, manifesting the love of my life, and all the things that we will do together, or even in my business, creating a lot of things, my creativity, it helped me and supported me in so many ways. And I love this process. But the first thing that I want to share with you, sort of a disclaimer, is to listen to yourself. With this new year, every coach, every influencer online, everyone is sharing their process or what they believe in. And some of those processes are super effective for some people, and they don't work for other people. The reason why I'm talking about intuition is because when you truly listen to what feels right for you, I believe that is what is supporting the manifestations to come to life. In other terms, the more you listen to yourself, it's going to feel true, it's going to feel real, and it's going to be so you and so unique to you that you will create your dream life because it's yours, because it's who you are. So yes, listen to this episode, listen to the process, to the 5 steps, but mostly and most importantly, listen to yourself. The second one is that even though it's a process and I have multiple steps within the steps, and I'm going to share all the details with you, I'm going to try to simplify it. 2025 for me, if we're talking about intentions and resolutions and stuff, for me is to simplify. So I want to simplify my business. I want to simplify my life, my home, how I function. And I also want to simplify my spiritual practices and my mindset processes. So if you want all the details written down with the nice little aesthetic that I created, you can download the guide in the description or the show notes. It's completely free and it's going to act as a support of everything I'm sharing in this video today. But for the sake of this episode, I will just try to simplify it. Let's jump right in. First step is goal setting. Duh. You've heard about goal settings before, but to actually work, I want you to connect with your true, deepest desires. Maybe the things that you feel even shame around. Forget about mom and dad. Forget about your coworker Daniel. Forget about the top influencer. What do you truly want to create for yourself? Maybe it's not the big dream goal and everything that society is selling us. Maybe you want something super simple for yourself. Maybe all you want this year to feel more in alignment. And a lot of coaches are going to tell you, you have to be super specific with your goal settings. Put in numbers and the exact details of everything. And that can work for a lot of people. It is working for a lot of people. It doesn't really work for me. I'm much more intuitive and I love to go with the flow. And I love to talk about energies more than with specific numbers. So if you're like me, give yourself the permission to set your goals in this way. Yes, we want to get into the details of everything and we're going to extract some substance for you to get a bigger vision about everything that you want to manifest and all the projects that you want to bring to life. But in the meantime, you're allowed to be yourself and to follow what feels right. So if for you, you're more tapped into an energy that you want to cultivate this year, it's totally fine for me. So first thing, you're going to get in tune with what you truly, truly desire if you remove all the bullshit. Then we're going to move into step 2, which is a visualization. In this podcast, I really wanted to bring a twist to this time of the year where everyone is putting goals the same way. So for the visualization, I'm going to invite you to record your own audio track. This is one of my most favorite practice, and it's not really liked by my husband, who is waking up every day to my voice, "Hello, sexy goddess," because that's my alarm. All right. When I'm clear with my goals and desires and what I truly want and why I want it, and I know what I want in my professional area, in my personal life, in my family, social life, once I have my dreams and my desires, I love to create the perfect day in the life. The perfect day if all of my dreams and desires are true. How is the day structured? What do I feel? And I bring a lot of senses. You know, I'm all about sensuality. So bringing the smell, the taste, the feelings, the beauty that I see around, because I'm very sensitive to beauty as well. When I bring all of that, that just gives a vision. And then I record myself reading that text. Then it's like, oh, you wake up feeling energized and ready to take on the day. I know it by heart because I put it as an alarm in the morning. So it conditioned my subconscious. And this, I connect already with this reality. It's very fun. It uses your imagination. It's a way to approach manifestation in a very simple, relaxed way, and it's very efficient. It's a lot more efficient to hear your own voice than to listen to someone else's visualization, because it's tailored to you and because I believe the voice is super powerful. See your voice as your own medicine. It's something that comes out of you and then comes in because you're listening to your voice. So you're ingesting your own specific vibration. It's very powerful. This step is for you to have fun. I want you to enjoy it. I want you to really use your imagination and feel like a child again, to feel empowered in this process, to bring some lightness and joy. The example that I use in the guide, Get Your Shit Together and Thrive, is the example of someone who would want to get healthier and walk 10,000 steps a day, go to the gym 3 times a week, eating a very amazing diet, healthy food, etc. This sounds very boring. You know, this sounds like chores and it feels heavy. That's why in the visualization, you will say something like, I put on my favorite gym clothes in the morning. I feel the soft fabric on my skin, the warmth of my sweater, and I feel pumped to go outside, feel the fresh air on my skin, and to start walking for my morning walk. I can hear the birds singing and the wind in the trees. And then it's time for a delicious, easy to digest breakfast. I smell the coffee everywhere in the kitchen, and I hear the crack of the egg I'm gonna eat in the morning. I don't know, you understand? The point is to make it super sensual, super vibrant, and very visual. Very attractive to you. The third part of this is supportive habits. I feel like there is a misconception around habits. People talk about good and bad habits. For me, habits are just what we do on a daily basis, whether we do it consciously or unconsciously. No one talks about breathing as a habit to have and to adopt for 2025. Maybe breathwork people, sure. Or brushing your teeth or peeing in the morning, but that's still habits. So I understand that the point is to cultivate the version of us that have the dreams, that have the vision. And for that, we need effort and we need to actually do something in the 3D reality in order to make that happen. But the most important is not just to have a list of new habits that you want to put in place, because most of this is unsustainable. And also because we're going to categorize the good ones and the bad ones, and we're going to try not to do the bad ones and feel so bad and so guilty when we do the bad ones, and cultivate the positive one. And we're going to feel so disappointed if we miss them or if we don't do them. Changing habits is something that is inherently difficult. This is just how our brain works. The brain loves predictability. The brain loves repetition. That's actually how we change habits, but that's why it's hard. It's because that's how we function. We have those routines and habits and things that comes again and again that are predictable. It gives us a sense of safety, and we know what we're doing, and we don't have to actually think about it. So if you want to implement new habits that are in alignment with the desires that we worked on before, then we need to unlearn a lot of the old habits. And because the subconscious mind doesn't really like change, it's going to resist it. So guess what? I'm going to invite you not to remove anything, not to remove your bad habits, but to actually add more. Add more of what brings you joy and makes you feel good and makes you feel like you're on your way to your desires. By adding more of what you won't have to do a lot of efforts to remove or get rid of the old habits. And I want you to give thanks to your bad habits because they supported you for something. Maybe it supported you in not exposing yourself or not hurting yourself too much. I don't know. But it's always there for a reason. There is no reason to reject anything about ourselves. When we do that, we reinforce this even more, and it comes back usually. So it's really non-efficient. What is efficient is compassion. So yes, compassion is thought to be this, oh my God, I gave myself compassion. And yes, it is that. Also, it is actually a very productive thing to do. This is how you work with your brain in the most gentle way. So just for fun and not for self-judgment and self-criticism, you can observe. Just like in a meditation where you will observe things without judgment or without trying to change it, you would just become the observer from a distance. You will do the same with a day in your life, in your current life, with every habit that supports your goals and every habit that don't. You compare the two and you see what's different, what's the gap. And you can start today implementing as many supportive habits for you to get the closest possible to your perfect day. Guess what? Chances are you're not going to succeed just because you cannot change overnight. Otherwise, you would probably already have what you want. It's a process that takes time, but if each day you're just getting closer and you're fueling that with a lot of compassion for yourself, you're just moving in the right direction, it's going to be a lot more gentle, a lot more fun, and a lot more effective. Fourth step is to take actions. By now, you have the supportive habits that are supporting you to become your best self, the one who is experiencing the dream life, the dream relationship, the dream job, the healthy body, the healthy mind, whatever you're manifesting this year. With the visualization and the habits and the goal setting, you know you're in direction, you know where you're going. Now it's clearer. It should be clearer in your mind at this stage of the process. And now it's time to give it more structure, organization, and action. My vision of manifestation is a recipe. It's the magical work plus action, and that gives results. Some people get stuck in the action. They're taking actions, and they don't believe in the power of the magical work. The magical work is when you go and reframe your subconscious mind, when you work with energies, when you do all the work we've done before, and other people get stuck in the magical work. This is where you dream about your life every day. You're not taking any sort of action to make it real, to make it come true. I'm not telling you, in order to have your dream life, to quit your job and move across the world. That could be an action you want to take, fine. Most people, though, are going to need some more digestible steps, smaller actions to move closer to the dream reality. That's why we get overwhelmed, is because we think we have to do it all right here, right now, change our habits, change who we are, make the big jump, the big leap. No, you don't have to. Just get closer each and every day. And if you fall out, then you get back up. And you're going to have so many moments where you're going to feel out of alignment. And you're going to forget about your good habits. And you're going to be a couch potato. And you're not going to be proud of yourself. That's okay. That's part of being human. Nobody talks about that. Everyone is like, power through and big goals, big things. This is not realistic. Most people overestimate what they can do in a year because of that energy of let's go, let's get our dreams, let's be ambitious, let's aim high. It's great. It's a great energy to have. First of all, can you sustain it for a whole year, for 5 years, for 10 years? I personally believe it's more efficient to be realistic. I hated being realistic. That was not in my vocabulary. But I found out that being realistic doesn't mean keeping ourselves small. We can still aim high, go after the big dreams, but in a very grounded, safe, relaxed way. Being realistic now feels much better in my system than going delusional. My boyfriend will really laugh at me if he could hear me say that, because he's always telling me that I'm completely delusional, that I always have such a big ambition and big dreams. I'm the dreamer in the relationship. Every time he's saying something, I'm like, don't be realistic. Realistic is shitty because we need to manifest the dreams and go after the big things. Let me break it down. If you aim too high, you're going to burn yourself out and feel so disappointed in yourself. You're going to feel like a piece of shit. That's not what I want for you. And I know this from experience. When you're more realistic, still aim for the edge. Go big as you can. But be realistic of your level of energy and your resources throughout the year. And do the best you can with that. It's going to be about finding the sweet spot right in the middle, the equilibrium between knowing yourself, being at peace, being grounded, being safe, having a nervous system that is stable and regulated, versus also having the passion, the fire, the energy, the desire, the hungriness to go after your dreams. And it's just going to be the sweet spot right in the middle. It's hard to find. I think it's a daily task to find this sweet spot. But I found out that it's a lot more fulfilling. I'm closing the parenthesis here. Going back to taking action, you probably heard about this technique. Nothing is going to be new for you, but it's very efficient. It worked really well for me. Is to reverse engineer your dreams. If you're not familiar with what it means, basically, in a simple way, is you take your big dream and you go back and back and back and back to today and all those steps you had to take in order to have the dream. So instead of going from, okay, I'm here today, I want to go there, what are the steps that I need to take in order to go there? You take the perspective of being there already, what needed to happen, and you go all the way backwards to today. Break it down, small bites. With taking actions, something that's gonna probably come up is some blockages, or some stuff that are gonna prevent you from going in that direction. Let's address them right now so we get prepared. The first one is discomfort. Change is uncomfortable. One of the biggest reasons I think people don't act on what they want is because of the discomfort it's going to bring. Whether it's consciously or unconsciously, people fear that change, that discomfort, not feeling like they have sense of control. The body can even go in survival mode. Oh my God, it's not predictable anymore. There are some changes coming. I'm not safe. I need to retrieve. Sometimes we self-sabotage, or we stay stuck, lethargic, or we just starting to live in a mental lie in our heads, thinking that we're doing stuff when we're actually not doing stuff. But if you know already that what you're going after is the next level, something exciting for you, and it's going to be scary because change, growth, transformation is scary for the body, it's scary for your subconscious mind. It's scary. Well, I'm going to be afraid. I'm going to be uncomfortable. That's it. How will you create the comfort within that discomfort? Do not try to eliminate the discomfort. It doesn't make sense. You're going to spend so much energy trying to resist something that will be around anyway. Can you instead accept that discomfort, embrace it, and create your own little comfort, your bubble, your cocoon of safety within those uncomfortable feelings? Repetition is going to also really help. The more you're going to do something, the less scary, the less uncomfortable it's going to be. So keep pushing, keep showing up. I swear it's going to be easier. Another big block is one of my favorite. It's perfectionism. So yeah, another reason for inaction is trying to be perfect, trying to do everything perfect. Being perfect, being ready, it's usually combined with all sorts of excuses why you cannot start today. It's not only the biggest creativity killer, but it's also something that will get you completely locked and will not allow you to become better at something. Because again, repetition makes it less uncomfortable, but also repetition makes you better. Practice makes the master. The more you're going to do something, the better you're going to be at it. So yes, you have to allow yourself to be messy, to suck at something, to be a beginner, to not know how to do things. And that's going to be hard for your ego, but that's fine. You're going to survive it, I swear. So the antidote here is just to keep on moving. Do it imperfectly first. Embrace your perfectionism. Give it room, give it space. Be like, hey, you're my friend. That's cool because you want me to do things in a very cool way. It's great, but I'm still going to move in the direction that I want. I'm still going to take those steps. Keeping yourself in motion and having this momentum is what is really going to support you. Finally, we're arriving to the last step, which is my favorite, obviously, because we're going to talk about pleasure. That's new, right? Most of the mentors out there, the influencers, the people sharing about mindset, they're telling you the very masculine way of manifesting everything. You also have all the feminine embodiment coaches that are telling you to pleasure your way through your goals. That's not how you say that. To basically use your orgasm to manifest your dream life, which is basically what I'm going to share too. But again, I believed in the magical work plus the action. I believe in the masculine structure and the lucidity, the being realistic, being grounded, and being connected and intuitive and working with energies and pleasure and our life force energy in a very potent way. The reason why I want to bring up pleasure and the sensual and even sexual energy into your manifestation process is because this energy, when you feel it flowing through you, is the energy that gets you creative. It's the energy that creates. It creates life and babies, but it also creates everything else you want. So you can use that same energy in order to support your manifestations, your dreams, your projects. Enough with the theory. I want to share with you a tiny bite and a simplified version of sex magic ritual. Sex magic is a way to use that sexual energy to manifest your dreams, to bring your projects to life. So here we're not creating a baby, but we're using the same energy that creates baby in order to create your baby projects. In order to use that energy, you must be familiar with that energy. I know a lot of women are so cut out from their sexual energy because they think it's not right, or it's dangerous, or it's dirty, or it's shameful. Society has conditioned us really strongly around those topics. It's very taboo. Some women are completely stuck in rigidity or their masculine forces and taking actions, working hard and hustling, that they're so out of touch with that energy within themselves. And other women are simply afraid to use that energy for something else. They're keeping it to the bedroom. But this is what I believe is our feminine power. If you recognize yourself from all those archetypes that I just mentioned, if you're way too rigid, or you're afraid or ashamed, or you're just not using it in other spaces of your life, you can explore my online program, Soft and Surrendered, because it's going to help you to melt those walls around your heart and be really in tune with your heart and your sensual energy for you to live a more soft and feminine life and to be really in tune with that current of energy that runs through you. That too will be in the description. But in the meantime, if you're already in tune with that energy, creating a sex ritual practice for yourself can look like setting up the space. I profoundly believe in the power of environments. And if you take time to set up your temple, that's going to really put you in a certain vibration. So put some effort and energy in creating something very warm, generous, I wanted to say, luscious, sensual, very comforting. Then you set that powerful intention. You connect with your dream, what you're trying to manifest, the energy you're trying to cultivate more. Maybe a very specific dream too, if that's how you function. Take a moment to bring yourself in a meditative space, which means calming your system and observing, switching the awareness from the outside and the world and the crazy thoughts to more of an inner approach. You bring your attention inward, and once you're in the right headspace, you move to the body, activating your entire body from head to toe, toe to head, really touching and awakening every single part of your body. We want the whole body to be a miracle receiver. Then to bring that sexual, sensual energy at play, turn yourself on. It doesn't mean touch yourself and masturbate. I'm not talking about this. Just connect with your power centers. You have in the guide a whole details of your power centers and your different chakras to move the energy from, but you connect with your base, with your instinct, with your creativity, with that life force energy, central energy inside of you, and you break it on. You turn the volume on this. You can also physically stimulate yourself and your pleasure. It's completely fine and fun and amazing, but you don't have to. While you're staying connected to that vision, I want you to start moving the body. And to move that visualization and that desire through the body, basically from your bottom chakras at the base of your spine, slowly moving them up, and you feel them going through all your chakras, up, 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 until a moment of release where you release that intention into the sky or out of yourself. And that's when you have a peak experience. That can be orgasm if you want to. Doesn't have to, but it can be. That's really fun and very pleasurable. This is your climax moment where you feel with every cell of your body this intention, this visualization, your dreams. They're here, they're present with you. And then you gently and slowly bring that energy back down into your body in a more grounded. This is where you bring that energy from the cosmos, from the magic, from the ether, from all this very subtle and palpable world and realm down into something way more tangible in your 3D experienced realistic reality. Again, that's a bit more complex than that. And you can play around and find your own way of doing it. But I wanted to give you a little taste of this in this episode today. I hope you liked it and it was useful for you. Feel free to change the steps and to make your own recipe for your manifestation. You are allowed to experiment what works, what doesn't, and you're allowed to dream big, and you're allowed to also ground and aim maybe a bit lower than your friends, the people around you, or the people online, and that's fine. The point is to live a life that is fulfilling for us and aligned and true to us. That's what I'm most passionate about. And I wanted to give you as much tools as I could today in this episode to do just that. If it was useful, if you loved it, I would love to receive a message from you. You can also send it to a friend who needs it. And I talk to you next week.